So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a full case study for a ceramic coating client that we got 64 leads in 26 days, spending only $850 and generating almost $25,500, which resulted in a almost 30x return on ad spend. I'm going to be going over the entire process, which is how to make a good creative, the strong backend that we used, and fast fulfillment. So let's get started. This was the creative that we ran. Yes, we had other ads like a video ad and some other creatives, but this was the ad that got all of these leads for the most part, right? I think this probably got maybe 40 to 50 of the leads. So there's a couple things we want to know here. One, the angle, which was scarcity. We gave an attainable result. We gave a clear offer. We gave social proof and an easy call to action. I'm going to go over why each and every single one of these is so important. So the first thing, attainable result. So this pertains to the car themselves. The car is relative to the service area. Because our client is not in a super affluent area, we're going to make the car a not super affluent car because we're going to try to make the result relatable. The next thing is a clear offer. We have a 5-year ceramic coating, $397, normally $900 plus. It's straight to the point and there's no room for confusion. And yes, we are aware that this price is extremely low budget, but that was mainly to create intent, and we're going to be doubling the price this month. That way he can basically get double the amount of money for the same amount of work. The next thing that we did was utilize social proof. 4.9 stars, over 200 Google reviews, and this overcomes the cheap price, means cheap quality objective because of the social proof. The next thing we did is the scarcity angle. This week only makes it seem like this offer is a limited time and encourages immediate opt-in. The next thing is the book now button. So the button funnels into the landing page and the landing page funnels into backend follows up. And all it is they click on the button and they get instantly funneled into our system. So that way they get marketed for up to 90 days, at least using our system that we built out for our client. So it's important to know that this was not the only ad that was running as stated before, right? In order for this to work, you need to have multiple ads in the funnel to educate your audience as to why your service is actually meaningful to them. Why is it beneficial? Justify it. And just because it worked for us does not mean that it'll work for you. It is important to do your own research and experiment with what works for you in your area. Scary money doesn't make money. You can save money by hiring someone that already knows what's working, or by making more creatives and figuring it out for yourself, right? There's no right or wrong. There's no rhyme or reason. You just need to experiment and see what works for you and run with it. So now we're going to be going over our process, our backend. What does it look like exactly? Our input is someone clicks the ad. Right, so they click the ad. The first scenario is they click the ad, they enter the information on the landing page, and they book themselves in. They get an auto text confirmation, they get an appointment added, pre-appointment follow-ups, and then the client does the job. Our client doesn't text anywhere in this, it's completely autonomous. The second scenario is a bit more complicated, and this is assuming they click the ad, enter the landing page, but they don't self-book. What happens is they get an automatic text confirmation, and then they get contacted manually through a cold call, or through one of our setters. Now, the client either books themselves in, right, from their contact manually, or the client still doesn't book in. What happens after this is we have an end of month lead reactivation, which again tries to aim to get them booked in. And from there, they get funneled back into the original process, which is an auto text confirmation, appointment added, pre-follow-ups, and then the client does the job. And initially, this is what's going to make the remaining $5,000 to $7,000 just off of lead reactivations. It's important to know that this system eliminates around 95% of lead generation issues, as there are still some ambiguous cases where the clients may want more information about the services provided, or other scenarios where a human or conversational AI is necessary. And yes, that is something that we offer as well. But again, lead flow is not the issue. What's the biggest bottleneck for him now is simply just doing all the jobs. And this is not the best system by far, right? This is an extremely low maintenance, simple, and incredibly efficient system for businesses looking to scale without dubious backend development. And what that means is, yes, this may not be the state-of-the-art system, but this is exactly what our client needed in order to take his business from literally $5,000 to over $25,000 in 30 days. A couple of things tend to happen at scale, right? We either have the backend isn't sufficient enough to handle tasks, the lead flow dries up, or fulfillment becomes the biggest bottleneck. Now, good thing that my agency, Avion, takes care of these two. Our clients never going to worry about a shit backend, and they're never going to worry about lead flow drying up. But they are going to have to worry about doing all the jobs that we bring them, right? So how do you prevent fulfillment becoming your biggest bottleneck? Well, the simple answer is to literally hire. After working with us, our client was able to hire his first employee and is looking into investing into a van and hire his second employee. And this effectively does two things. You, as a business owner, now have more time to spend with friends and family and not have to worry about your third child, the business. And two, your job now becomes passive income because you don't have to worry about your next paycheck or when you have your next client or worry about personal accidents or events getting in the way of fulfillment. If this is something that sounds interesting to you and you want to deploy this system for your service business, just DM me on Instagram. I'll leave the link in the description and we can see if this would actually be applicable for your business. And even if it isn't, I'm sure that I can find some things that I can point out to set you on a good right foot.